Hello everyone, this is Squallcasting bringing you another game of StarCraft 2. In this match we have Fang Mecha versus Korean. I can't read Korean, I don't know who that is. If you look at this, it's just, yeah. If anyone fluent in Korean is watching this, I would love translations of this. I'm assuming this is good luck, have fun in Korean, but probably with a lot of formal, you know, uh, parts of it since Korean's a very formal language. In fact, if you've ever heard the unit acknowledgements on the Korean client, they go on for like 2 minutes. It's like, yes, I will go there, and I respect you, and I acknowledge you as my commander, and I will go there now. It's kind of insane. Anyway, so this is on the Korean server, so obviously these guys are going to have about 9,000 APM. We're probably going to see carriers getting microed out of the way of Hunter Seeker Missiles. I don't know what's going to happen anyways. So this is a PvP. Should be interesting to see what happens. Red scouting in now. Green dropping his gateway, getting on out of there. Both gateways going down at basically identical times. Red, however, missing an SCV. Could be because he was typing. Man, look at all that. Oh my goodness. What all was that? Wow. Okay. Maybe they had to pause. Anytime there's a pause in a replay, if there's chat going on during that pause, as soon as the pause is done, all the chat appears in this massive flood. And apparently they are having a very animated conversation. I'm seeing a double question mark. Red clearly very puzzled about something. I have no idea what. And we got a bit of probe on probe dueling going on here. Green blinking first and running away. Red chasing after him with much ferocity. And something similar going on over here. Cybercore going down for green, and Cybercore going down for red. Red's going down just a little bit earlier, so he will be able to get his warp gate and his stalkers out ahead of his opponent, and throwing down a second gas. And green also throwing down a second gas, so pretty close to mirrored builds so far. The only real difference being the Cybercore for red going down slightly earlier, but nothing terribly significant. So we'll have to see where they go with this. Green is opting to get a Zealot first. Red has not. Probably going to get a Stalker first. So the first real deviation we've seen from these two players. And we'll have to see if this eventually moves into the very typical War of the Worlds style play where each player builds as many Colossi as possible and whoever has the better Colossi engagement angle wins. Personally, when I'm playing 1v1 and I'm playing Protoss, I just don't like doing that. In fact, I hate it so much that I just go for air instead and try to win with air play, because Colossi versus Colossi is just so boring for me. But we'll see what these players do. Should be interesting. This is the first Korean server game I've been casting, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Red throwing out a Twilight Council. Meanwhile, green is getting a Robo. So more deviation in their builds. So red going for blink play possibly, whereas green could be going for immortal. Colossi probably going to get an observer out first just because that would make sense. Oh, red going for a dark shrine. How very sneaky. Not even bothering to hide it, just having it in his base. He did kill the probe that was trying to come in, so purple does not yet know that is up. There is a Zealot surging forward, though, and we will see if he tries to run that Zealot up there and to see it. And also getting a Robo Base. So, red going for a very, very tech-oriented route. Neither player thinking about expanding at all. Green has not gotten another Warp Gate, so it could be he's just going for one Gate Robo into expand. Let's see, though. Oh, okay. 2 more gateways going down now. Making Observer, rallying it across the map. And another gateway for red, so 2 gate Dark Templar Robo. I'm not even sure if that's a build. Oh, my phone! What the? Okay, good. My wife took it away. Thank you, Audrey. You just heard my wife's name. Oh, dear. And red going out and expanding. Green, though, looks like I'm not sure what Green's wanting to do. He did just throw down those gateways, so 3 gateways and a robotics bay. Okay, so he's going to be going into gateway, Colossi. Red, on the other hand, has that Dark Shrine, getting a Dark Templar, and expanding. So we'll see how well this works out for him. Since Green does have that robotics facility, Red will not really be able to deal that much damage, and he already sees the Dark Templar with that observer there. And I'm assuming that's a, ooh, Dark Templar, in Korean, of course, said with a Korean accent. I don't know what that would sound like. Anyway, Green's starting to get a Colossi out. He has an observer right at that front door, so he will be safe. Red hopefully will realize that and not try to charge in. Needs to run that Dark Templar away, and he does. So, not really doing much with that Dark Templar, but not losing it either. He can just park it on that watchtower, keep an eye on things, or potentially just run it home. You'll see. This expansion finishing up now. Getting a Stargate as well. Wow, going for a multitude of tech avenues, or tech paths. That sounds a little bit less awkward. And yeah, did take that watchtower with his Dark Templar. Green putting down a pylon. Looks like he might want to expand as well. He is letting those minerals build up. And yeah, there goes his Nexus, so he is expanding as well. Red will be a bit ahead in the economy war. But Green does have those Colossi. And Red did spend all that time getting that Dark Templar. Because, the Dark Shrine is so very expensive. So Green will have an army advantage for some time now. He does have that first Colossi out. But Red's trying to get a Phoenix. Okay. So could use that for scouting. Could use it to try to pick up units during battles. We'll have to see where he goes with that. I doubt he's making that to try to kill the Colossi, as I'm pretty sure a Phoenix would take about 8 years to kill a Colossi. They just aren't that good at it. Green moving forward to take the watchtower, but that Dark Templar is going to shut that down with his dual-bladed Scythe of Doom. But pulling it back, he does not want that Dark Templar to get baited into an observer. So Red just establishing this base, continuing to mine, doing his thing, etc., etc. Green looks like he wanted to push forward a little bit, but decides to fall back after all. Moving observers out across the map, just to keep an eye on things. I'm just going to check the respective player vision. Okay, so this is the only observer that's forward for Green. And Red has an observer and 2 Phoenixes. A bit odd that he has that observer with the Phoenixes. Yeah, that observer definitely going to die. But Green does see that there's an expansion up, so he knows that's going on. Has 2 cannons down there just to defend against Dark Templar, because that makes sense. Even more Korean chatting. These 2 fellows clearly very friendly with each other. This looks like a... That looks like a single-wheeled Gatling gun cart. But I'm sure that actually means I want to have peace with you and be your friend, be your neighbor. Pretty soon they'll be building Nexi next to each other and mining from the same mineral patches. It will be wonderful. Probably not, actually. So Red just choosing to just kind of mix Dark Templar into his main force. That's always kind of interesting to see. Now, while they are very expensive and not the most durable ever, they do insane amounts of damage. And if you can manage to, say, snipe off the observer in the enemy army and then those Dark Templar go undetected, they can deal a ton of damage. But we'll see how it works out for him. He may eventually opt to morph those into Archon, as they're a bit more of a traditional fighting unit. Green does have a handful of sentries with that force. And since Red is not going for Colossi, Fleet Beacon, what? Okay. So, could eventually get carriers? Robo Bay, Fleet Beacon, Dark Shrine. All you need to do now is build a High Templar archives, and his tech will be complete. He will be able to build absolutely everything. Green, on the other hand, has remained on a more limited tech path, but that does leave him more resources overall to win. Even more chatter going on. Could be these are just Oh, these are two friends just playing a game. I just realized that because this guy's green. If this were a ladder game, he would be blue, because in ladder you only get red and blue. Okay, so they are two friends playing, or potentially two strangers playing, but clearly having some level of agreement to play together and have fun, rather than just being randomly matched through that impersonal BattleNet matchmaking service. So green pushing forward a little bit. He does have those two Colossi. He has the Observer. We'll see how red handles this. He does have a bunch of Archons. Colossi shelling the pylon. Or maybe not so much shelling as lasering or thermal lancing. That would indeed make more sense. Both players just posturing back and forth a little bit. We'll see when the engagement happens. They're so close together. Okay, green's going for it. Pokes forward a little bit, and backs off. Red does have two observers for additional coverage. Green only has the one, and green looks like he just wants to pull on back. Okay. Felt like you couldn't take that force. There was one immortal in there, but I don't know. I felt like that would have been a good opportunity for him to attack. Could have thrown down some decent force fields. Oh, but the Archons would have broken them. Okay. So the force fields would have been nullified, but still, 3 Colossi versus that? I mean, that's not insignificant, but... Oh well, his decision. 2 Archons in there now. Both players just kind of sitting back. Green taking another base. Red, on the other hand, he's got that mothership. And getting the range attack upgrade for Phoenixes. Okay. Going for the one of everything build. Get, you know, every single unit and upgrade possible. So that way your force cannot be countered by anything. Even though that it doesn't actually work that way. Yeah, so both players are still playing passive. 5 Colossi now for green. This is getting pretty terrifying. He has a significant supply lead over red. Probably because red has just gone for so many different kinds of tech all at once. You know, you just can't do that and remain competitive as far as army size goes. This is why so rarely in pro games do you see all different kinds of tech going down, because they're going for a very concentrated and predetermined build. You will occasionally see reactionary play, but, you know, you need money to build units. And every kind of tech you go down is less money for units. But we do have an engagement in here. Phoenix is coming from behind, starting to work on those Colossi. Green pulling his Colossi back a little bit, as my computer does a huge frame drop. Mothership moving forward, dealing damage, and green feels like he can't take this, so he is running. Those Phoenixes might actually eventually kill that Colossi. But red also chooses to break off. But he's moving around for a flank here. He is up on upgrades, or not. I thought he was, but he actually isn't. This single Archon charging forward for the glory of ire. Catching up to that Colossi, doing a bit of zapping action, and green is just in full retreat. And that Colossi might go down. That'd be pretty bad for him. Oh no. Colossi losing, dying for absolutely no cause. But he has so many Colossi now. This is terrifying to deal with. And I don't think red has what it takes to kill it. We'll see though. He does have that mothership. That can always change everything. He gets a good vortex down, and this entire game could change in a heartbeat. Are we going to see Archon Toilet versus Colossi? Is that even a thing? Oh, in any case, red pushing in here. Gonna kill this base unless green responds. Green looks like he wants to go for it. He does have charge on those zealots. Just move attacking them now. Oh, but the vortex sucks in all the Colossi. Green pulling all his units in there. He does not want half his army fighting alone. And the Nexus does indeed go down. Green, though, saving pretty much all of his probes. And red choosing to pull back. And red now is kind of in full retreat. Guess he felt he was, you know, happy with the damage he dealt. And deciding to pull on back home. And he is securing his own expansion. So now he will be ahead in the economy war. Let's take a look at work accounts. Red definitely behind in probes, though. But once that finishes up, he should be able to populate this fairly quickly and start getting caught up. Green is starting to get Void Rays. What? When did he get a Stargate? Where are his Stargates? That is green stuff, right? Yeah. He's throwing down his own Dark Shrine. Okay. Okay, here's the Stargate. So he's getting Void Rays, I guess, to kill the Mothership? These are kind of weird compositions, but whatever. Who cares? So green does indeed have the 2 attack upgrade done now. Very nice to see that. He is up on red now. Base rebuilding. This base is finished up. He's moved probes over, and he's starting to produce more probes. Take a look at the income rates. Yeah, red definitely ahead in every aspect. Even though he has less harvesters, he has them more evenly spread out. Green here is like so incredibly oversaturated, it's actually kind of insane. Red up on gas as well, so that will allow him to get more and more high-tech units ahead of his opponent. Getting the air attacks, getting the shield upgrade. And I guess that makes sense if you're going for units like a Mothership that have more shields. And Archons. Archons benefit enormously from the shield upgrade. Getting more Dark Templar. What's green doing down here? He is getting those Void Rays out, building more Void Rays. Getting his own Dark Templar. Because if your opponent has Dark Templar, the only counter to it are your own Dark Templar. If you're Terran or Zerg, you're just kind of hooped. I figure that's their mentality at this moment. Red pushing on forward, blowing up those rocks. Checking for an expansion here, no expansion there, no expansion there either. Green's expansion here is reestablished. Ooh, but we got some Dark Templar swinging into the 3rd, and there is no detection there. He's going to lose a bunch of probes for sure, and potentially the Nexus. Just going straight for the Nexus, tunneling in on it, and that is insane damage output. Oh my goodness, that is dying fast. So red definitely going to lose that expansion. He is taking this one up here. He does have a wall there, but the DTs can just waltz in up here to kill it. Unless he doesn't think to and pulls back. Ooh, but we got an engagement here. So many Colossi, Void Rays adding their firepower. Mothership gets a Phoenix off, so green runs his entire army in. But he's going to lose this base again. And that is the worst feeling in the world. Reestablishing a base only to have it die very shortly thereafter. Vortex finishes, but he does another Vortex. Picks off a few units. And he's going to run everything in there? He's running a couple Colossi in. I feel like that was a mistake. Running the Observers in. Okay, moving his Archon. So, Archon Toilet versus Colossi. Let's see what happens. I don't even know what's going on. Mothership goes down. Colossi are dying pretty darn fast. Take a look at the unit count. Green way down on supply. So this is definitely working out really well for red. Wow. Okay. He did have a lot of Archons going into that. But still, it's just such weird compositions. But they're Koreans, man. They do what they want. Dark Templar running forward, slicing Archons apart. Archons responding with psionic shockwaves of shocking. And green? GG's out. I'm pretty sure that's a GG. Unless that's some sort of rage that's like, oh, I can't believe I lost that. I had more Dark Templar than you. Anyway, thank you guys for watching my game. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do leave feedback in the comments section. I'm always looking to improve my casting. And I will see you guys later.